and Co. Gwalior Limited for weaving carpets. So Anatolian designs, other designs, they were introduced, and this used to be the largest wall-to-wall carpet in the world. Now, of course, these Gulf sheikhs and the monarchs in the Gulf have come up with even bigger versions, larger versions. But there was a time when it used to be the largest wall-to-wall carpet. Apart from that, the chandeliers that you see, sir, again, they are the wonders of the world, you can say, because before independence, there were only two places which had such big chandeliers. One, of course, Gwalior. Other was the Tsar's Palace in St. Petersburg, Russia. So they are equivalent. They are that big. And the story goes like this. Now, it is a story. It may be right, it may not be right. That they made some elephants walk on the roof to test the strength because they had to hang this. This is all from FNC Oslo, Birmingham. But the Belgians don't agree. They say that it was imported from our country. So there has always been a debate between the British High Commissioner and the Belgian ambassador that who provided crystals, because we have so much crystal in this palace. So who was the main provider? The Belgians say there's a company in Belgium which claims, and they have put it on their website also. But according to our records, if we go by our primary sources, it is FNC Oslo, Birmingham. Apart from that, sir, all the yellow color that you see, it's all pure gold. More than 3 lakh leaves of gold has been utilized in this palace. Several tons of gold has been utilized in, inside the walls and outside also to, give that golden appearance to it. The heaters, you can see the old type heaters on the top, and the crystal furniture, of course, you must have noticed. The thing is, this palace per se is inspired by two main palaces, Versailles, which is in Paris, and there's a palace of Caserta near Naples, because the man who built this palace, the Italian guy. So his ancestors came as fighters, but he ended up becoming an architect. It took it just 1 year to build this palace in 1874. So imagine the amount of work they did back then. Maharaja said, I want my palace built in 1 year, and Michael Fellows and his team executed it. They built the palace in 1 year, and he bought so much material from Europe that only 1/3 of it has been installed in this palace. Most of it was kept in the Araish Khana outside, because he was not sure what should be installed and what should not be. So I got extra material from Europe. So that's the grandest part, I would say, of this entire complex. But there are some other things which I would definitely love to show you, sir.
So where Maharaja will sit in his time?
So in his time, he will sit there in the photograph. So for instance, when he was declared the governor of Madhya Bharat, Jivaji Rao. So Jawaharlal Nehru came, he sat there, the Maharaja sat there, and he gave the oath taking ceremony took place. He read the oath. The Maharaja took the oath as the first governor / Raj Pramukh of Madhya Bharat Union. Many visitors, state guests, dignitaries have visited this place. For instance, we have had Marshal Joseph Broz Tito. Joseph Broz Tito, as we all know, during the non-alignment movement time, we were very close with these countries. So he was the guest. That time period, the president, Rajendra Prasad Saab, used to nominate the governors or Raj Pramukhs that, a state guest is coming, so he will go, this governor will take care of him. So Jivaji Rao was given the duty to take care of Joseph Broz Tito. So he came here, all ceremonies took place here, he visited other parts of the palace. We have had the royal family of Luxembourg, the Archduke of Luxembourg, Belgium, royal family of Belgium. In fact, the first resident ambassador of a European nation to India was from the Belgian royal family. His name was de Ligny. He also visited Gwalior, this very place. We have had people from the Serbian royal family, Bozdar Karađorđević. So a lot of visits. And in the recent time period, sir, we have had Her Excellency Draupadi Murmu here. We have had the Honorable ex-Vice President Dhankar Sahab. He was here, and many other visitors. So this is generally closed. It is supposed to be preserved as a testament of history, is like an artifact of history. But it is open in case of just state visits. When there's a president or prime minister level person coming, or vice president, then sometimes they do open it. Please.
So this photograph is
Yes.
the present Maharaja.
That's the present Maharaja. That's his father, Madhav Rao Scindia. And in between you have Madhavi Raje Scindia, who was the princess of Nepal. So she was a descendant of the hereditary prime ministers of Nepal, the Ranas. And she got married to Madhav Rao Scindia and came to be called Madhavi Raje. She passed away unfortunately last year.
Oh, she passed away.
Yes, last year.
So Their parents are not there.
Yes, yes. His council of ministers will sit here. As I told you, the Gwalior state, sir, was divided into, which was huge. That's the Gwalior state. It was divided into two main parts. You had the Prant Chambal, where, as you said, you come from the Chambal area. From the other side of the border, though, in UP. But that is Prant Chambal in the top, and that's Prant Malwa. So, though both of them were part of the Sindhya state, but they were huge enough to be administered by different governors appointed by the Maharaja. So as I was telling you, during the World Wars, we had a phenomenal contribution. So the Maharaja appointed a person named Muhammad Rafiullah. He combined what the Gwalior state forces did during the World War. Like even today, like even when we were, we attend our conferences in Delhi, sir, many of these senior generals of the Indian Army pinpointed, we contributed so much in the World Wars, the world should, and now we are doing in peacekeeping missions in UN. So the world should recognize the role of India. Of course they should. The Suez Canal was protected because a colonel from the Gwalior Army, Girdhari Singh, led a Gwalior force known 4th Maharaja Bahadur Battalion. And when I visited Cairo, it's called Heliopolis Cemetery. You can still see the name of all these people written who protected the Suez Canal. So many of the people from this Chambal, they don't even know that there are Suez Canal, which is so important for global commerce. Yes.
Suez Canal tak hai.
Yes, sir. They went to, as sir was pointing out, Belgium. They went to Thessaloniki in Greece. They were in Jerusalem. They went to Amman. I mean, I had a Jordanian ambassador come and speak because the siege of Amman, as it was called, it was under the Ottomans, raided Amman thanks to the Gwalior forces. They went and they launched it. So our contribution, without any doubt, thanks, the Prime Minister has taken certain steps. Whenever he visits somewhere, like he went to Egypt, he visited the cemetery which I'm talking about. In other countries also, he makes it a point. So this is also a part of our military diplomacy. That we did all that. Yes, we fought. That was a time when there was age of empires. After the First World War, the empires were gone. Austro-Hungarian were dead, Ottoman were dead. But what was the role Indians played in the death of these empires, particularly the Ottoman Empire? From Haifa, which renamed the Teen Murti Chowk to Teen Murti Haifa Chowk. Everything pinpoints to this particular thing, that different regiments, not just Gwalior, but others contributed phenomenally.
Huge contribution by Indians. So I was talking about this Belgium, like our India gate, there's a huge big gate there.
Yes.
And I was standing there from top to bottom and seeing only Indian names.
Indian names, agreed.
Indian names.
Agreed. And sir, if you see in the Second World War, for instance, when the Italians were invading Eritrea and Ethiopia, Abyssinia, that time, Gwalior state forces was stationed in Ethiopia. We fought against them. In fact, the story goes like this, that a lot of Italian-made weapons were got from, there was Colonel S.N. Mishra, if I am not wrong. There were two who became really very popular during that time period. So, the contribution was not just in one war, second war, Boxer Rebellion, South African War. So, the global footprint of Indians has been phenomenal. It is now and it has been there in the past also, which I can say without any doubt. Please.
These are Maharani or just a painting?
No, this is the painting. The Maharani will never be depicted on a...
That's why we're putting in this room.
Yes, because this is a state room, so they will definitely... That is the Indian way of seating. During that time, the difference between the Rajput and the Maratha system, sir, is very simple. Marathas were called as the Mongols of South Asia. Why they were called Mongols? Because they are not from this place. The present royal family, the Scindias, are not from Gwalior. They are from Satara in Maharashtra. So when they migrated, how they used to establish their base? It is said that Jeen Ghar Jeen Tak. So if you are sitting on a horse, you have the gashia on which you sit, right? You take the saddle, you take it out and put your saddle on the ground. And wherever the saddle falls, that's the place where the Maharaja is going to sit. So it's like the Turkish system. Who are the Turks? Today you have this, you're talking about Turkish technology. The present Anatolian Turks trace their ancestry to the Central Asian Turks, so migrated from Western Mongolia or Kholbai. And today they have reached all the way to Constantinople and Istanbul and even beyond. So when they were migrating, they used to have their tents. You must have seen during their travels, yurts, they call it, the yurt. And in entire Central Asia, you'll find youths. Similarly, the Scindias and other, they used to have camps, kampus, like I was telling, Jacob ka kampu, Sikandar ka kampu. So and this was Lash kampu. So he will come, he will have, entire city was a mobile kind of a city, no established structures, and the Marathas were moving from one location to another location. Wherever they would sit, they'll sit like this. You know, the Maharaja will take out his gashia from the horse, put it on the ground, and he'll sit there. So it's very easy. It's later, like the Turks, they learned from the Iranians. Today, the architecture that you see in Turkey is partly inspired by Iranians and partly by the Byzantines, because they are two sedentary civilizations, whereas the Turks were more mobile and migratory civilization. Same with the Marathas. The Rajputs have been living, like in Jodhpur, they have been living in Jodhpur for thousands of years, whereas Marathas, they went and conquered a lot of territory, but they ensured that this migratoriness in them, that remains.
So these are all the.
That's the crest. So, sir, the thing is this, that Gwalior had an old crest and a new crest. The old crest was the sun and the serpent, because the Maharaja, this royal family claims descent from Sheshnath. You know, you have the Nagavanshi, Suryavanshi, Agnivanshi and Sheshavanshi. So in Karnataka, shloka was found, it's called Drishti Vishkul Tilak Pranamadi Kiran Vibhasu Nagavanshloka. So they say that they descend from the king of the serpents, and that is Sheshnath. And who was the scholar who studied this? His name was Chintaman Narayan Vaidya, a very important Sanskrit scholar. He came, he studied, and he said that, they are basically Sendraks. They are descendants of the Sheshnath, and that's how their descent comes from. So, and since Sheshnath took the avatar of Lakshman, born in the Ikshvaku family, and Ikshvaku is the solar race. So the old, like we were sitting on the chairs, if you remember, that sun and the serpent are old. Then these groups. And on the top you have the serpent, showing that they are descendants of the Sheshnath. Under that you have the two bastions. You see, they represent the fort of Gwalior, that it is the Gibraltar of India. It is very difficult to conquer. In between you have a crescent. It's actually a crown. It's not a crescent, it's the way it is depicted. It's a full crown. It's a Roman civic crown, which means Roman peace. Under it again you have the serpent, which represents the origins, and under it is written Alija. So when the Mughals were called Alija, when the Marathas established their supremacy of the Mughals, many things the Marathas took from the Mughals. One of the things is the title of Alija, because they were not allowed to be addressed